don't feel, there's a second point I want to mention to you is that senior volunteers make all the difference. That is the Western world that talks about aging as being active, and they don't talk about retirement till 80. Okay, this is something that you need to bear in mind. The third thing that I want to mention, we have a national policy on older persons, 1999. Okay, I was part of that committee. It never happened, but I will still take 1 point from national policy on older person, 1999. It says a senior citizen in India is a national resource. Let me repeat, you are a national resource. It is declared by the policy of the government. Now, what is a resource that you are talking about? Just because you are old, you don't become a resource. You become a resource by age because of the wisdom, experience that you gained. And understand, your wisdom and experience is no use if you don't know how to utilize them post-retirement. Important. What is you telling I am 65 years? What use? If you are not useful to the community, if you are not useful to the family, if you are not useful to the society, let me tell you, you can't call yourself a wisdom holder. I think that's what this group of people are doing, all of them sitting here. They are all contributing to the benefit of all the members across the country. Their pride when Mr. Maheshwari says, no, not 57, it is 250 plus. It is a pride in what he does. It's a pride in what you do. I think this is what is a resource that you talk about. I'm not telling you you're not a resource. Go back and do some work. Go back and contribute to the family. Go back and do the community. Participate in the activities. Fourth thing, this is a nice thing I want to tell you. When I came here, I came with the half slack. And when I saw some of them, I got scared. They were all wearing a beautiful suit and they are receiving me. So then here is invited to speak. He comes with the half slack. He is walking as if he is nobody. Let me tell you something interesting, very interesting. Some of you can see the Times of India 25 years ago. This gentleman was 90 years, I met him. We invited him for a program in 1995 for an International Day of Older Persons in Hyderabad. He came with a beautiful suit, nicely tied and everything. So when reporter asked him, sir, at 90 you are coming with the suit. What is the reason? He says, I wear the suit only in place where I can find girls. Now be careful with this mania. Now I have not come to find any ladies, I came like this. Thank you. So this is the story. Understand, this gentleman said so. And I am not going to tell him anything. It's very, very interesting to know about this man at the age of 90. I may not have time to tell you. If I keep on talking to you, all of you are already doing this, then you have to do both. So I don't want to take too long. I'm just picking up some points. Now, you deal with the current younger generation. Let me tell you, what you went through 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I am going through now. I am not anymore young. I used to be very young when I came to address Bharat Pensioner Samas. I was in 50s, but I am continuing to address. I am also in 70s. So, both my daughters, I see them having, one daughter is having a 12-year child, other one is having a 9-year-old child. Every day, lunchtime, dinner time, beautiful exchange of abuses between the two, the mother and the daughter. Every day there are abuses. They will cry, both will fight, they'll go on. After 5 minutes, they'll be seeing TV together. Understand, this is the current situation, current generation. I was talking to this morning somebody who was talking to me about politics in India and politics in the world. Very interesting conversation I had. I had to tell him, listen, I have to go to BPS shop, I will call you later. Interesting story was, he says, I'm not talking politics, okay, I'm talking about references. Today's politicians are not any more value based as we saw them 50 years ago. Please understand, don't measure their performance or what they contribute with what you have seen 50 years ago. You have to look at the current generation of 20 years, 25 years, what they see, that is the truth. Not what you saw a truth. No, it's become irrelevant. What is happening? You are unnecessarily stressing your brain. Oh, all these people are bad, they don't do anything. Come on, that's what it is. What Mr. Maheshwari was narrating about all the ministers he met, secretaries he met, everything is the current generation. Please understand, you have to keep pace with what they are and then not what you were. Not possible. I deal with my brother who's mentally not all right. He's entitled to a family pension. So every year, every 5 years, we are supposed to get him a renewal certificate. I requested Mr. Maheshwari for some help. Let me tell you, I went to the railway office Paramore, requested them to do it. They said, get this done. Let me tell you what they asked me. I got it done in 3 days. I requested them in March. I got the paper done through PGA and everything. And I'm telling you, it is 9 months. That paper is with that secretary, office superintendent till 6 months. They are not moving the paper for whatever reason. I have other priorities, I have this work, I have this work. But this job involves 10 minutes processing. But please understand, I am not going to fight with her. I am going to cajole her, I am going to persuade her, I have to persuade. But please understand, I get 1 year older by the time I get the paper moving. But that's the situation. Let us not keep criticizing and telling they are not moving the papers. But if I am accepting it, I am peaceful. If I am not accepting it, I am stressful. I think the question of what you really take. So I want you to bear in mind today's situation. Yesterday, I have a very unique airport experience I had. I was sitting in the first seat paying 1,200 rupees extra in the Indigo, thinking I'll go fast, come out fast. And all of us in India, we want to go first. That's our basic thing is we want to go first. Why should somebody come first? Now please understand, I am sitting in the first seat. When the aircraft landed, I can tell you, I don't think I was even the 25th person to come out. Seriously. People from all over the back, they came. And the air hostesses are telling, sir, please be seated, please be seated, please be seated. Those people said, you please sit, we'll go out. I think that is the current situation that you have to face. Now, am I going to criticize them? No, criticism no use because they mind their work. So we must know how to adapt ourselves. I think that's one of the biggest learning that even if you are in 80s, you have to accept it. I must also tell you, I was part of that G20 meetings. I was part of what is called C20 that talked about health care for the elderly. I was in Delhi when the meeting took place. I was not invited to speak there. I'm not exaggerating, sir. In that meeting where we are talking about senior citizens' health, there are 4 members of us. Not even 2 delegates came. Not even 2 delegates came. It's literally truth. Because nobody is interested in senior citizens' health. Nobody is interested in your health at all. They're telling you mind your work. You do whatever you want, leave us alone. They don't come. Now, are you going to say that senior citizens are neglected? No. You're not neglected. No. I don't think the current generation thinks that something has to be given to them. They don't even have a thinking process. They simply do what they want to do. So we have to accept it and adapt ourselves. Now I'm talking about what this man is right from the beginning is saying only adapt, adapt, adapt. I'm telling you to adapt, adapt, adapt only for the simple reason that you will remain healthy. When you accept what is in front of you, you are going to be healthy. You're going to be really healthy. See, there is, all of you would have heard, I don't have to tell you because they're all experienced people, survival of the fittest is the situation today. Survival of the fittest is the learning that we must always remember. Whether you are 70, 80, 90, 100, you have to be like this. So I happened to talk to one of the ladies and met one of the ladies in Bombay. She is now 92. I went to Bombay for some meeting. I went in the evening to see. She invited me to a program in Bombay called Tamil Sangam. She's a Tamil singer. 92. And she is given every month 1 hour slot to play Carnatic music, sing Carnatic music. 92. So I asked her, how do they give you at 92 time? He says, Ganga, I've been doing it for the past 22 years of time. From 70, I'm doing this. So they have a lot of respect for me. He said, one set of people will always come and listen to me. Understand, 92, you make yourself relevant. You make yourself relevant by what you give to the society. I want to listen to the nice music, so I go to, Padma, Mrs. Padma's music. I listen to it. I listen to so many others. But I also want to encourage a lady 92 talking about it. And she told me something interesting. She has a sister who's 89. Now, that lady, 89-year-old lady, had a sickness. She had a breathing problem, leading to complications. She was recovering. Younger sister also sings, but she is not a singer like her elder sister, who is 3 years older. So I asked this younger sister who introduced me, I said, why are you, he says, you believe it, Ganga. My elder sister teaches me how to sing from the stomach, not from the throat. 92-year-old lady teaching younger sister how to sing from the stomach, not from the throat. I said, how? Because she is also having the same problem of lungs. So she cannot use the throat, therefore she uses the sing. Please understand, ways at the age of, this is what your wisdom is all about. When you are talking about wisdom, you are talking about what you do yourself without contributing to troubles of others. You are not going to tell your parents, children, take me to the doctor, I'm having a headache, I have a knee pain, there is a problem. Please understand, children have no time for it. And understand, today is a very competitive world. They have no time for you. And they are themselves surviving. They have to struggle to survive. And it is not a time, my father worked in railways. I know the kind of lifestyle he had. Impossible to see it today. Because today you are talking about Vande Bharat, you are talking about new trains coming in, everything is changing. And aircrafts are changing. Yesterday I found an aircraft which is different from any other aircraft. Aircrafts are changing. So the whole system is changing and you have to keep pace with that. Instead of telling that it's going to happen, I think that's one of the biggest things that you need to is adaptability and adjustments are very, very important. I know that I'm talking to the senior citizens, but I would like to remind you again and again that if you don't have the adaptability skill and adjustment skills, let me tell you, you are going to be misery. You are going to be living in misery because you're going to kind only fall to that. Let me probably close with that and CGHS. Now you mentioned about CGHS, very interesting experience I had, I must tell you. Our hospital, Heritage Medical Center, is a 100-bed hospital at Hyderabad, Somajiguda. We are not running this anymore, sir. We have closed it. We closed it. CGHS approved our hospital for a treatment of CGHS employees. So 1 year passed, not even one person came. So we thought, why? So we went and met CGHS officials there. They said, sir, do you know any of the doctors in CGHS? I said, we don't know anybody. I knew quite a few people, but I said, I don't know anybody. Unless you meet them, you won't get patients. What is the meaning of meeting them and giving the patient? You have to meet them, talk to them, what? Percentage. I'm not critical. Please understand, I'm not critical. It is a percentage. If I have to get Mr. Maheshwari for his knee problem to come to me, I have to give a kickback to the doctor there. Then only he will refer him to my hospital and say, it's a good hospital, you go. He is not having that kind of a big choice to say, I will go wherever I want. No, you won't be able to go because there will be a lot of spokes. So now this is the situation that you are going to run with. Now all the 70 plus scheme that Mr. Maheshwari mentioned, yesterday somebody's mentioned, the scheme is only a publicity right now. The process is going to take time. Now our people who have registered 70 years on the day it was approved, they want treatment from that day. We are in a hurry. And our government is also in a hurry to announce it because of political reasons. But the fact remains, the scheme will become operational, we have to wait. I think it's very important to understand that the way things are happening, I think we have to adapt ourselves. and then keep ensuring that we are feeling good about it. And finally, I like to close it only with one comment. All over the world, it has been proved by studies, research studies, there is no better institution than the family. And every one of you know that family is important. I don't think I need to mention that, nor the research study has to say that. But often we get into problems with the family. Disagreement, difference of opinion, antagonism, anger, aggression, abuse. This happens on either side. You abuse your children or the children abuse you. Then we are talking about elder abuse. I think elder abuse is one subject that I spoke in the United Nations, New York in 2013 when addressed the United governments. Please understand, elder abuse is not one-sided. Understand, it's not one-sided. A son does not abuse you just we won't abuse you. You are also cause for that. Now let me tell you with my own experience. We had a few hospital facilities in Hyderabad, Kshetra, Chemalem and other places. I decided at the age of 60 that I will not run them anymore. It's a very conscious decision. You all retired from formal employment. I retired from my business. At 60 I retired. I gave my buildings and my businesses to two daughters, separated them so that they don't have any difference of opinion. I separated, gave it to them. It is 10 years. I can only tell you one thing. They are running much better than what I could do. They are running much better than what they could do for only one reason. They know the current generation, current cultural attitudes, how people look at it, how do you have that? I am very sincere, I am very honest. Doesn't work. You need to be honest, no doubt about it, but the way you communicate matters. Honesty cannot be honesty. Honesty means rudeness also. Honesty must be diplomatic. How do you really do that? I think this is something that we need to understand that we have to give in. And finally, there was a write-up, I don't know, I'll probably give it to Mr. Maheshwari. Beautiful write-up written by Colonel Sabharwal from Bangalore in Times of India. And he says, giving up. He's maybe a little middle of 70 or early 80s. He lost his wife due to Alzheimer's disease related problems. When she died, he says, I lost my life. Once she died, I have lost life. So what he did, he lived in a house. He says, I have to give up my life, not to death. He says, I decided that I will give up everything in the family. I'll keep only the structure of the house. And he's written beautifully. I know Mr. Sabharwal. I meet him in meetings in Bangalore. He's written, what is he written? I kept 6 pieces of clothes, repeating what Mr. Abdul Kalam did, Dr. Abdul Kalam did. He says, I have not followed Abdul Kalam. I have my own reason. I am doing it. He says, I have kept only army medals. And I kept one or two items of my wife that she treasured. All the others I have given it away. He says, come to my house. It's a shelf consisting of 6 pairs of clothes, undergarments and garments. He says, when I travel, I take all the 6. When I sit at home, I keep all the 6. He says, life is extremely simple. I think this is something that we need to know, that we can't have that golden values and say everything is important. Let me close it. I can give you any more talks. Once again, thank you for listening to me. I'm so sorry that I could talk only English. And I think next time when I come, I'll speak little Hindi somewhere else. Thanks a lot once again. All the very best. All of you have a safe life. And thanks Mr. Maheshwari and the team for inviting me. Thanks a lot.
BPS Zindabad! BPS Zindabad! BPS Zindabad!
Thanks a lot, sir, for your educating speech. बहुत ही अच्छा, खूबसूरत और आपका ये अवधि भाषण था। और जितने भी यहाँ पे सीनियर सिटीजन बैठे हैं, सब लोग समझ गए होंगे कि किस तरह से ज़िंदगी को जीना चाहिए, अपने बच्चों के साथ, अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ, अपने नेबर्स के साथ, अपनी एजिंग के साथ कैसे कैसे लाइफ को एंजॉय करना चाहिए। बहुत ही लर्निंग स्पीच थी। थैंक्स अ लॉट सर, श्री गंगाधरन सर। अब मैं सारे जितने भी यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं सीनियर सिटीजन और यंग्स जितने हैं, मैं उनके बारे में कहना चाह रहा हूँ। मंच से भी गुजारिश है कि ख्याल करें कि हम अपने बारे में बताना चाहते हैं कि हम क्या हैं। इस नदी की धार में ठंडी हवा आती